The koala, Phascolarctos cinereus, is one of the most iconic and beloved marsupials native to Australia. Often mistaken for a bear due to its cuddly appearance, the koala is not a bear at all but a unique species that belongs to the family Phascolarctidae. Known for its large, fluffy ears, stout body, and strong limbs, the koala spends most of its life nestled in eucalyptus trees, which provide both food and shelter. This comprehensive explanation covers the koala's biology, behavior, habitat, diet, reproduction, communication, conservation status, and cultural significance, offering a complete picture of this fascinating creature. Koalas are the only living members of the family Phascolarctidae. Their closest relatives are wombats, which share several anatomical features, such as backward-facing pouches and similar dental structures. Physical characteristics. Koalas have a distinctive appearance. Size and weight. Adult koalas range from 60 to 85 centimeters, 24 to 33 in. In length and weigh between 4 and 15 kilograms, 9 to 33 pounds. Males are generally larger than females. Fur, dense and woolly, their fur is usually gray with lighter underparts. In colder regions, their fur becomes thicker for insulation. Limbs and claws. Koalas have strong limbs and sharp claws to aid in climbing trees. Each front paw has two opposable digits, allowing a firm grip on branches. Tail. Unlike many mammals, koalas have a very small, almost vestigial tail. Their large nose and highly developed sense of smell help them select the most suitable eucalyptus leaves to eat. Habitat and distribution. Koalas are endemic to eastern and southeastern Australia, from Queensland through New South Wales and Victoria to South Australia. They inhabit eucalyptus forests and woodlands, coastal islands and inland regions, temperate and tropical climates. Koalas are arboreal, meaning they live primarily in trees. Their habitat is defined by the availability of suitable eucalyptus species for food and shelter. Diet and feeding behavior. Koalas are specialized herbivores, feeding almost exclusively on eucalyptus leaves. Of over 700 eucalyptus species, koalas primarily consume 20 to 30 preferred types. Adaptations for diet. Digestive system. Koalas have an enlarged cecum and a long digestive tract, which allows them to break down the tough, fibrous, and often toxic eucalyptus leaves. Liver function. Detoxifies the poisonous compounds present in eucalyptus. Low metabolic rate. Koalas sleep 18 to 22 hours per day to conserve energy, as their diet is low in nutrition and calories. They consume about 500 grams to 1 kilogram of leaves per day and rarely drink water, getting most of their moisture from the leaves. Behavior and lifestyle. Koalas are largely solitary, with individual home ranges that may overlap slightly with others. Activity cycle. Nocturnal, most feeding and movement happen at night. Sleeping, they spend most of their time sleeping in tree forks or on branches to conserve energy. Behavior and lifestyle. Koalas are largely solitary, with individual home ranges that may overlap slightly with others. Activity cycle. Nocturnal, most feeding and movement happen at night. Sleeping, they spend most of their time sleeping in tree forks or on branches to conserve energy. Communication. Vocalizations. Koalas produce a range of sounds, including deep bellows, especially males during mating season, snores, grunts, and squeaks. Scent marking. Glands in the chest of males secrete an oily substance used for marking trees to signal territory. Reproduction and life cycle. Koalas are marsupials, meaning they give birth to underdeveloped young that continue growing in a pouch. Breeding season. Occurs between September and March. Males bellow to attract females and ward off rivals. Gestation and development. Gestation period, 33 to 35 days. Joey, a newborn koala is about 2 centimeters long and weighs less than 1 gram. It crawls into the mother's pouch, where it attaches to a teat and stays for about 6 months. After 6 months, the joey starts to explore the outside world, riding on its mother's back and feeding on pap, a specialized form of feces that helps introduce digestive bacteria. Weaning is complete by 12 months, and young koalas leave their mothers to establish their own territories. Sexual maturity. Koalas become sexually mature at about 2 to 3 years of age. Lifespan and mortality. In the wild, koalas live 10 to 12 years on average. Up to 15 years for females, less for males due to fights and stress. Causes of mortality include habitat loss, vehicle collisions, dog attacks, diseases, notably chlamydia and koala retrovirus. Threats and conservation. Koalas face numerous threats, many of which are human-induced. Major threats. Habitat destruction, urbanization, logging, and agriculture reduce and fragment eucalyptus forests. Climate change. Increasing temperatures, drought, and bushfires severely impact eucalyptus availability and koala survival. Bushfires. The devastating 2019 to 2020 Australian bushfires killed or displaced tens of thousands of koalas. Disease. Chlamydia, a bacterial infection causing blindness, infertility, and death. Koala retrovirus, CoRV, a virus that compromises immune systems, making them more susceptible to disease. Predation. Domestic dogs and feral animals pose threats, especially to joeys on the ground. Vehicle strikes. As urban sprawl continues, koalas crossing roads are frequently hit by cars. Conservation status. As of 2022, the Australian government officially listed koalas as endangered in Queensland, New South Wales, and the Australian Capital Territory. Conservation efforts include protected areas, establishing koala reserves and national parks. Wildlife corridors, connecting habitats to allow safe movement. Rescue and rehabilitation. Koala hospitals and rescue organizations treat injured or sick individuals. Legislation, stricter regulations to prevent land clearing in koala habitats. Cultural and symbolic importance. Koalas hold a special place in both Australian culture and international conservation awareness. In Australia. Featured in children's books, cartoons, and tourism campaigns. Considered a national symbol of biodiversity and wildlife conservation. Appear in Aboriginal Dreamtime stories, where they are seen as wise, peaceful creatures. International recognition. Koalas are often used as symbols of wildlife in need of protection. After the 2019 bushfires, international donations flooded in to support koala rescue efforts. Scientific research and education. Koalas are a subject of ongoing scientific research in areas such as genetics, understanding population diversity and disease resistance. Ecology, how habitat use and behavior change with environmental pressures. Climate change adaptation, studying how koalas cope with rising temperatures and declining food quality. Educational programs in schools and zoos promote awareness of koala conservation and the importance of preserving native ecosystems. Interesting facts about koalas. Koalas have fingerprints that are nearly indistinguishable from human fingerprints. They rarely drink water. Their name, koala, comes from an ancient word meaning no water. Koalas have a low brain-to-body size ratio. Their brain is small and smooth, possibly due to energy conservation needs. Male koalas have a scent gland on their chest used to mark trees. Despite their cuddly look, koalas can be aggressive if threatened and have sharp claws and strong jaws. Koalas and climate change. Climate change poses a long-term existential threat to koalas. Impacts include heat waves that exceed koalas' thermal tolerance, causing dehydration and death. Droughts that reduce leaf moisture and food availability. Fires that not only destroy trees but also leave koalas with no shelter or migration routes. Koalas are climate-sensitive species, meaning they are among the first to be impacted by changing weather patterns. The future of koalas. Without urgent intervention, koalas could become functionally extinct in parts of their range within decades. Actions for the future. Reforestation projects, restoring native eucalyptus forests. Policy changes, stronger laws against deforestation. Disease management, widespread treatment programs for chlamydia and CoRV. Public education, encouraging people to drive carefully, leash dogs, and support conservation groups. Research funding, investing in scientific solutions to combat the impact of climate change. Myths and legends about koalas. Aboriginal Dreamtime myth, the koala and the trees. In many Aboriginal Dreamtime stories, the koala is seen as a wise and ancient creature connected to the land and trees. The koala as a bridge builder. Some Aboriginal groups believe that koalas helped humans by creating bridges across rivers with their bodies or tails. In one version, the koala sacrificed its tail to help people cross a river during a great flood. As a reward, the spirits gave it safety in the trees, and koalas no longer needed a tail. This tale explains why koalas don't have visible tails and portrays them as selfless helpers. 3. Myth, koalas are bears. A widespread modern myth is that koalas are bears. This is false. White heavy checkmark fact. Koalas are marsupials, not bears. They are more closely related to wombats than to any bear species. They were called koala bears by early European settlers because of their bear-like appearance. The name stuck, but scientifically, the term koala bear is incorrect. 4. Myth, koalas are lazy or drunk. Because koalas sleep up to 22 hours a day and often seem dazed, people think they are lazy or even drunk from eucalyptus. White heavy checkmark fact. Koalas sleep a lot to conserve energy because eucalyptus leaves are low in nutrition and hard to digest. The leaves contain toxins, but koalas have special detoxifying organs to process them safely. They are not high or drunk, they're just slow and sleepy to survive. 5. Myth, koalas don't drink water. The word koala comes from an ancient Darug, Aboriginal, word meaning no water. This led to the belief that koalas never drink water. White heavy checkmark fact. While koalas get most of their water from eucalyptus leaves, they do drink water during extreme heat or drought. Many koalas have been filmed drinking from water bottles or creeks during Australia's hot summers or bushfires. 6. The koala as a guardian spirit. In some indigenous cultures, koalas are seen as spiritual guides or protectors of the forest. Dreaming stories describe them as quiet observers of the world, keepers of ancient wisdom, creatures that watch over the balance between land and life. Seeing a koala in a dream or in the wild was sometimes believed to be a sign of peace, protection, or a need for stillness and reflection. 7. Myth, all koalas are the same. People often assume all koalas are identical. White heavy checkmark fact. There are regional differences. Northern koalas, Queensland, are smaller and lighter in color. Southern koalas, Victoria, are larger and have thicker, darker fur to survive the colder climate. Koalas are much more than Australia's cuddly mascots. They are complex, ecologically vital marsupials with specialized diets, intricate social behaviors, and a perilous future. As a flagship species, their conservation shines a spotlight on the broader challenges facing Australia's unique ecosystems.